July. Happy July to everybody. So July is another month. If you've made it this far, you have made it 6 months into 2025. Well, our conversation this year in over here in this world of biz strategy, Sandy, we are going to speak about business. This is what it's about. That's about getting your funds, getting your life together. Let's see. We want to make sure that we are connected over here. I'm going to see if I can hear what it's about. All right. Okay. Now there is a little delay. So, welcome to July 2025. And now we're going to begin without further ado. We're going to go ahead and get into it. You are missing money that you're for your business. Grants are all around for you. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Specific grants in specific areas of your business, because I want it to be etched into your mind. I want you to really, really hear what I'm saying this morning about the grant opportunities for you in your idea. You may not have even started the process of getting your business out there. But in this economic of times, we need more. There's no more dependent on government programs. There's no more dependent on just getting by. We need to be thriving and thriving. And if you need a little help, I don't want it to be any excuses why you can't make it. So that's what we're going to get into talking about. Let me let you know who I am. I am Sandy. I'm a biz strategist here. And if you come my way, and if I am someone that help and assist you in any way, I will dissect your business. I will help you come up with strategies and plan, and may even give you some information that you may not have heard before and know nothing about. So when you come over here in the world of biz strategist Sandy, under the Push to Dream enterprise, you will have to shift your mindset into a success mindset thinking. I don't want to hear your negativity in this world. I do know negative things happen out here in the world, but hey, I'm not for it. I've had a lot of negative things that happen in my life, but I always look at the positive. Okay, God, what's in it for me? What did I need to learn from this? What are you saying to me? What are my next steps in you? Because at the end of the day, God wrap his arms around his children, and he takes care of us. So we don't have to fear, fret, or be afraid of any negativity. We don't have to be afraid of the things that are not happening right now in our lives. We don't have to be afraid, because he's going to order our steps if we allow him to. Okay. So now, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and celebrate July by talking about some of this grant. So July is success month. That's what we're going to label it as. It's going to be the success month. It's going to help us get out here and get some things up and running and moving in our world. So now back to what I was saying. I'm going to share with you we what some of the areas that are very popular that I think that let me move mine. Okay, there you go. That I think that we can move you into getting grants for. Okay. And I want to tell you a little bit. I want to just give you the breakdown of some of them, not all of them, but I talked to you a few days ago about grants, right? So now today I want to talk to you more about getting this money. This is money if your credit score is on the low. You're not feeling like a bank is going to approve you of a loan. Well, this is going to be some information that possibly may lead you into the direction where you want to go and where you need to be. So we're going to go ahead and see. Now, if you want to start a business in the aging and look, what these businesses that I'm speaking of right now, they are going to be needed here in the near future. So it's best for you time for you now, if you have a desire to do something in these areas, that maybe one of them that I'm mentioning to you, then I suggest you take action. Take action. This is what we're here to talk about today. Taking actions on some of our limiting beliefs. Let's get out of the mindset of we can't do something. Stop telling yourself of what you cannot do. You can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do anything that can benefit you and your family and your legacy and building your generational wealth. There is no one out here that wants you to win no more than you should want yourself to win. Okay, so being being into your own your own success story and being your own cheerleader in a lot of these things, it's going to help you to move the needle and move right along in life. Okay, now when you are thinking of, there are grants out here for aging citizens and seniors. The population is aging. The data says it tells the story. Now what you can get is, there are available for independent living. There are grants for caregiver support, for nutrition, for elderly care, social engagement, and programs that can improve the quality of lives of well-being for older adults. So if somebody's in that niche of, or wanting to help in that area for aging seniors, or or aging citizens or senior citizens, then this is, hey Mr. Harris, how you doing? So this is good for you, and there are grants out here for this particular type of business. So this is what I'm doing. This morning is an encouraging video for you in the business sector of whatever whatever your vision is. Now we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about some. And if you want me to speak on one that you put in the comment, just let me know if there's something that I may not mention that you might be interested in, and I'll see what I can do to get that information for you. We can kind of talk about it while we're here this morning. Okay. Now there are grant opportunities for arts and culture. What do you mean by arts and culture? This is film, written works, and a lot of you may want to get into film and theater and things like that. Visual arts, dance, music, performing arts, and other artistic information. Now, there are, according to a Grant Watch, study and research that I've done, there are like 2,700 and something grants for that particular genre or that particular niche. So the grants are not there, that you need to know how to get them, and I'm having an upcoming workshop to help you to get that. So if you want that info, then we will work on getting it for you. Now, small business grants, everybody. Yay, let's talk about it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, this is the area where a lot of us are in. And then side note, not only these grants are just not only, you can only just apply for them in a specific genre or specific category. You can apply for these grants as many different places as you can, as long as you meet their requirements of what they're giving the funding to. Because listen, they don't want to give their money to something that is not going to be prosperous. Yes. So anyway, alrighty. So the next thing about small business grants, and they're like, through Grant Watch, there are like 1,400 of them, and plus. So these are like, developing, upgrading, expanding a business, building a small business, nonprofit, for-profits, any kind of small businesses, funding, I'm sorry, not nonprofit, excuse me, for-profit businesses, and any other type of business that you want to start. There's grants for it, but you have to remember, I told you, you have to narrow it down and be specific. Hello there. Hello. So remember, y'all, I'm on different platforms, so I'm trying to work the room here and see who's speaking and who's not. Okay. Is anybody saying anything? So if there's a specific business that you don't hear me speak about, just say, hey, what about this one? And I see what, we'll try to handle it live. Okay. All righty. We'll do this live. Okay. Now I said that's in the small business grant area. Remember, I said there's like over 1,400 grants, according to, some research that I've already done. And this is why I want you to know that there is funding out here. I want you to get out of that mindset that thinking that you can't There's nothing out here for you. That this administration unblocked everything. Nah, this administration has not blocked everything. Some things are just outside of the scope of the control of, so but I do think that things will change next year. So this is why we're speaking on this now. And I want you to take action, take action, take action. Whether you take action with me helping you or getting in one of the courses, or you're just doing this on your own, I want you to know this and learn this information, okay, about the grant. So happy July to everyone. Happy July. We're out here making it happen. Happy July. We're out here doing some things that's positive, okay? Because there's enough negativity going on in the world now. Okay. Now, listen. This one here is so great. This grant right here, let me tell you, before I tell you about it, it's kind of like dealing with something that's going to always be an asset for you. An asset. Let's say asset. Write it. Can you comment asset for me? Asset. So if you're listening at this on the replay, comment asset. Now, there are over 1,800 grants in capital funding. Now, what is capital funding? What is capital funding? Now, a lot of these grants that are out here, there's local agencies that have this money, that have this funding that you don't know about. And one day, I will be telling you in the class that I know Georgia have one, that it's a particular grant that if you get a grant, or even including some certain types of loans that is included on top of the grant, they'll give you funding. You can get a loan, or to help you to build this particular portion of the grant. If you get a grant for this particular type of business, and that is real estate, your construction, your renovation, and real estate is an asset, you guys. Equipment purchasing, capital campaigns, expanding capacity. There's so much real estate, and there's going to be exchange of wealth. There's going to be a repositioning of wealth, and you need to be a part of it, whether it's short term or whether it's long term. But usually this real estate game is for long term. Okay. So this is definitely something that if you are interested in real estate capital, if you are interested in it, you should explore some grants for that particular area. No doubt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, there are grants out here for children. Yes, there are. There are grants out here for children. Children. The health of your children, that there's so much. I don't know whether you've read the new bill that is getting ready to be passed by Congress. And there are some things that is going to affect the children of our communities. So if you have an idea to do something differently, you should look into and explore this. There's the educational portion. I talked to you a few days ago about you don't need to worry about educating your children, homeschool them, or stop worrying about what the public education is doing and not doing for your children. And if need be, find ways of pooling together and educate your own children. Do y'all know, have y'all really ever studied how the Mennonites and though they don't look for public education to educate their children? They have their own communities. They have their own restaurants. They have their own bakeries. They have their own ecosystem within their communities. Their culture is so geared toward their legacies, their next generation and the next generation. Whereas some of us we have given so much we've given so much, and we've pretty much produced unproductive young people. They're unproductive. So we would like to do something different. You should want to do something different. And also, let me go ahead and talk about these grants for children. This includes the foster care, adoption services, parenting classes, all of these things. There are grants for this particular type of niche. And so the money is sometimes hidden in plain sight. Now, also, this is a very important one because here, I know we've been touched by this here last year, the climate change initiatives and things of that nature to help you and help your city or your area when it comes down to, um, having grants or having, just really preparing for a disaster, really. So there are grants for that. Grants to support clean energy development, carbon reduction initiatives, climate resilience planning, programs that advance long-term environment protection. There's so much up under those umbrellas, and I know these are just the words that, to break them down. We can talk about those, or some of you, if you're in that area of niche, you should know them, and you probably do know about them, and that they are so important for the communities. They are so important for your local areas. And so if you have a goal to be in this particular niche, thanks so much for the love over there. And if you are someone that want to, you're concerned about the environment, there are ways that you can get grant and funding, and you can make a change. You can make a difference, and you can have the money to do it. And I think there's over 150 grants for that. And then really what you probably you probably would be able to do is connect with the community, or connect with your local government in that aspect. Okay. And then also let's talk about, it's that time of year that everybody's getting ready to go to school. Most of you should have already done this though, but looking for grants for college scholarships. If you are somebody that's going to school, if you have of someone that need grant scholarship money, this is something that will be, there are funds out there for that, through government agencies, fund government agencies, grants for individuals, educational entities. There are supporting, academic research, career development. All these have grants. And if you're somewhere, if you have a program, let's say, for instance, if a part of that program or a part of something, it doesn't have to be a nonprofit. If you have something that is going to help with career development, or you may have a business that you may be coaching or consulting, there are grants already out there, and you can partner with colleges and universities in that aspect. And there are grants laid out, and they're there for you. You just, like I said, you just have to do the work to research them and know that they're there. So that's one thing as well. And then also, your, like I think I touched on this yesterday, your community, your economic development grants. There's like a lot of those grants. There's over 2,000 that now that I know that is out there now, over 2,000 grants for that. And then that is, supporting your communities, revitalization, infrastructure improvements, capacity building, beautification efforts, developing projects, and finding out what you need. You're in your local area. So if you find out what you need in your local area, then there are grants out there through partnership with maybe community economic development. And there are grants there. That's money that is not sitting there. So we say, hey, I'm here, come get me. No, you have to really narrow it down and know what you want and get out here and get that funding, because it's out here for you. You just, like I said, you have to research it, and you have to know what you're looking for. Yeah. You have to narrow things down. Yeah. It's not narrowing it down to the niche. That's what we have to do. And so, good morning, good morning, good morning. K Business Channel, how are you, sir? I appreciate you. You're joining me from YouTube, look like. Hey, good morning. All right. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. Alrighty. So the community economic grant is another one. We're talking about this morning, everybody, so I can get a pause here. We're talking about the grant money. The where's the grant? Where's the money? Where you can get the fundings? And in some of these businesses that I'm mentioning, if you are in the development phase, or if you're thinking about some of these, then giving you the information here. I'm giving you proof that it is out here for you, because I want you to get to the mindset of making your decisions, and making your decisions and making your mind, allowing your mind to expand. Okay, expand into something great for yourself and making a difference in the world. Making a difference. So no, there's even, let's see, there's even community service grants. There's supporting services programs that benefit the public. There are like over 4,000 of those. Yes, yes. They're looking for, they got all kind of programs, social services, civil engagements, initiatives that address community needs, strengthening local support systems, and improving quality of life for residents. So these are not for nonprofit. These are for businesses. Okay. You have to make sure that you meet their mission statement requirement. And if your business align with what they are looking for, then you possibly can apply for them. So not only can you apply for one, you can apply for as many as you discover. But the key is the discovery portion. Some of you just don't know that these grants are out here to help you fund your vision, fund your initiative, fund your business, your vision. So you have to know whether you have to know it's here in order to be able to do something about it, right? So yeah, that's basically it. Um, and then also there are all kind of oh there are so many other ones, but I'm going to let me go to entrepreneur startup. There are many grants for that. And so I mentioned to you earlier about the small business grants that are out here. Funding is available for early stage startup, innovation, having, if you want to, something like that with me. See, I can apply for some of these because of the things that I do in my business, for the coaching, the business development program. So that's what I am. That's a part of my description in what my business does. That's a part of my NAICS code. I talked to y'all the other day about a NAICS code. A lot of times your NAICS code will lead you to, especially if that's why I told you to sit down and determine what's your NAICS code. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Determine your NAICS code for your business. And then some of these categories I'm mentioning to you you guys will be a match made in heaven. Yes, you will. So don't forget that there are entrepreneur and startup grants. Yes, you have to discover those. And like I said, you have to pin down your business plan. We're getting ready to start another 90-day intensive. So if you are interested, click the link in the bio and join and get, just join the community and get the weekly tips and business tips. And when I get ready to drop the course, which will be in a couple of weeks, you will be the first one to know, and you can get in and at a astronomical, reasonable rate before it goes to the full price. Okay. because the information that I'm going to give will have you set. If you do everything I told you to do, you will be good to go. Yes, you will. And then also, you have to take action and you have to really want it, okay? Because I know I'm not saying, look, you have to leave your job to be an entrepreneur, but you definitely have to think about more than one stream, one source of income. Okay. All right. Now that's the entrepreneurship. And like I said, there are grants for that too as well. So, and for startups. So let's talk about farming and agriculture because there are grants out here for that. It's like if you think like a lot. Now I know. Think about this. Now I see this all over the internet. There are a lot of people out here speaking on herbs. Producing herbs. There's grant funding for that. There's grant funding for farming. There's grant money for your equipment that you may need, the research, the education, and the rural development initiatives are alive and well. Now, I know some of you may say, no, that is not for me. You don't have to physically be the one doing it. You don't have to physically be the one doing the work. But I tell you, the way our health we need healthy foods. This is a need. I can't stress how much this is needed in our communities for as having great food and quality food to eat. So we need to, we need to eat to live, not live to eat. And so if some of you have any background, any education in what is the nutritionist way, a great nutritionist way, you can partner with someone that may have some property, or you can go out and purchase some property, or even some of the grants out here may be so where you can purchase some properties for that purpose. So you got to think strategic, okay? Think strategic. Yeah, think strategic. And also, there are some housing grants, okay? There are some housing development, and I spoke earlier about the grants that I feel like would be good for real estate, and those were, okay, so a thing just came up on my thing. Okay, yeah, there are housing grants. There are over 700 grants that I know in that particular area. So there are programs, and a lot of you, if you have the real estate, if you have those opportunities to get into a business, and there are grants out there to help you for your home, even for home improvements. There are grants for building and upgrading projects. Because if there's an initiative and there's a need for it, remember I said when you're writing a grant, you need to have show them that, hey, this is a problem. We need to solve it. And if you will grant us this funding, we are going to fix this problem. Every county and every city has some issues, people. Everyone has some issues. And we need, they need fixing. And so it's not, like I said, you just have to think about doing these things in your strategy, in your goals for your business, or in the goals of the grant that you're looking for. Because a lot of you have ideas to change to where you want to solve problems. You don't have to do this in a non-profit standpoint. You don't have to do it in a non-profit standpoint. Not yet. Okay? You don't have to, but you definitely have to make sure that if you're going to just say, hey, I think I want to do something, I think I want to try to get something like this in, guess what you have to do is you have to come up with a strategy and a plan. Thanks. Thank you. You have to come up with a strategy and a plan. And then you have to take the proper channels and to knock on the doors that you need to knock on. That's all to it. Now, I would do about 2 more, and then because it's a lot. I have a long list here. I'm not going to go all through all of this whole entire list today, but when you get And if you decide to be a part of this next workshop that I will be doing on getting this grant funding and getting approved for grants, you you will learn more about this in it. And then, like I said, that one that we just did was about housing. Now let's do one more, because I think this one here is definitely, well, it's two more that I think, but I'm gonna do this one first. The one about mental health grants. There's a lot of people, I'm not, you know, I'm not making fun of any situation or anything right now, but you guys, there's a crisis here with mental health issues. There are not facilities that we know that some people may need to be there and that are not there. So there are grants out here that will, because you can always partner with professionals. If you're not the professional in this area, you can partner with professionals. Then you can always get a grant to fund that portion of your business. Say, for instance, if you get somebody, thank you. If you can fund, if you can get, let's say if you get a grant to do this particular mental health, enterprise, you can hire behavior health professionals, you can hire the staff that you need, and you see, you can get a grant for all of that. It doesn't have to be nonprofit. Let me keep expressing that. This can be for your business. This could be for well-being, counseling, therapy, and to assist and to treat mental health. You can even possibly get a contract and see something like this. And not all businesses, but most of them will do good with partnering with someone like the VA. Those are, they have a lot of PTSD, customers or clients. And if you guys can come and meet at a medium of what you would do contract out with some of their patients, companies do this all the time, then you guys can have you can have a beautiful business relationship. And this can all come through a grant, and this can be a part of your business. You can get it one time to help and assist or whatever, the grant to get you up and running and off the ground with this particular project. And then also what you can do after that, then you have your anchor, your footing, and then you can develop more contracts, because you would have the proof of concept, and you would have proven that, yes, we can do this, but that grant would have helped you gotten there, right? So that is one grant that I think that if that's just something in you, I'm just using this as an example for certain businesses. That is an example of you getting that grant or that. But like I say, it is a few. It is a lot of them. And a lot of, youth and at risk youth. There's a lot of that. You can prove that there's an issue, that there's a problem in that area, because there's so many of our young men and some women are being incarcerated. There are a lot of runaways. They're getting trafficked. They don't. We don't need that in our world. We don't need that in our world. So, but that's kind of like all some of the grants that I do want to tell you, that there's grants all over for anything that you can think of. There's so many grants. There's housing grants, like I said. There's homeless grants. There's international grants. There are mental health grants. There are so many other nutrition and food grants. There's operating support grants. There's pet and animal wildlife grants. Whatever kind of business idea you have, for the most part, I'm willing to bet you can find a grant there. You can find a grant there. It's just that you have to know what you're doing when you're out here searching for one. And that's why a lot of you don't have one. Okay? That's it. Bottom line. Good morning over here. Good. Well, yes. So Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be all that I'm going to do this morning. And happy July, everybody. Happy 1st of July. We're not celebrating over here. We're celebrating our success. We're celebrating the possibility of us. We're celebrating that we've made it another month, because we've already maneuvered 6 months already into the year. It just seemed like to me, y'all, the year just came in. I'm telling you, I think because the first part of the year I was doing taxes and I was, yes, I had my head down. You hear me? I had my head down. Yes, I did. All right. And so now back to what I was saying. Whew. Your grant opportunities are plentiful. They are full. They are plentiful. They really are. And so it's up to you to get out of here and just roll up them sleeves. I don't have on any sleeves this morning, but roll up them sleeves and get your ball to rolling, okay? And do what they are requiring you to do. When you're one more thing, when you're researching and you're looking for a grant, it's very important that you read. It's very important that you read. Read. And if you don't read, you're going to miss the opportunity. So maybe some people that apply for grants are getting awarded the grants because they are not giving the grantor everything that they asked them for. It can be, give me your resumes of all of your staff that will be a part of your organization. And if you don't give them all of them, then you would not have followed instructions. And they don't, who takes kind to giving someone funding and they're not, asking them for something and they're not following the instructions that you give them. Just think about it if that was you. So you always have to think about, okay, yeah, and then you told them that was a requirement and they didn't do what you asked them to do. So that tells you a lot about them for as their ability to follow instructions. Why would you give them the funding? Why would you give them the funding to do what they want to do when they can't even follow simple instructions? And sometimes a lot of grantors do that just to see whether you're going to do what they ask you to do, so they can always weed out those that are not following instructions. Some people get turned down from the frivolous things. They do. So don't you be one of them in the future. Follow instructions. All right. Okay. All right. Y'all have a beautiful morning, and I'm getting ready to get back into some projects that I was working on this morning, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So once again, happy July, and I hope that you still got your mindset of getting out here and making some money, getting out here and increasing your wealth, getting out here and not wasting time. No matter at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, or the middle of the night, you will need funding to live a life in this world if you don't want to be homeless out here in this world. Okay. So you have to take the initiative every day, do some small steps to accomplishing some of those things that you need to accomplish. You got to do it. You got to put some action to it. Thinking about it is not going to get it, but working on it is going to make it all come. It's going to, that's the key to manifestation. I know y'all like to talk about manifestation. Manifest. How you gonna manifest? You gonna get out here and you gonna walk towards the manifestation that you want. Do. You gonna take step by step by step by step. That's what you're gonna have to do. All right. Okay. And one more thing. Besides, you were created for greatness. One more thing. You were created for greatness. You were created for greatness. Move in silence. Don't let everybody know what you're doing. Okay? Because you don't need that chatter in your ear. You don't need that negativity. Because when it comes into here, it starts planning right here. And then once it plants right here and do this in, woo, it's like a whirlwind. Just when you think that you're not, I roll off my back. I ain't paying that no attention. When you're in your own thoughts and you're by yourself, let me tell you, that thing there, it brings back all of that. So I just don't, I just don't listen to it. Don't allow it to come near you. And then you won't have to worry about wrestling and battling with it, because it's a battle. It's a battle out here. It's a battle. The battlefield of the mind. Read that book sometimes by Joyce Myers. Read it years ago, and I refer to it now. Battlefield of the mind. It's for real, y'all. It's for real, everyone. All righty. Have a beautiful day. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.